It is Top Secret Tuesday, Florida Maquis Patreon channel. If you are here, you are at the $10 subscription level. This is level 2 of training. This is a little bit beyond basic psychological operations training, one step below the top tier. Here, we take it to a level that people can begin to grasp psychological operations in their own lives. Things that maybe they are unwittingly doing to those around them. Things that perhaps those around them are unwittingly doing to them, and maybe those that are not so unwitting. I thought we would start here today. That large groups of people all doing the same thing usually feel insulated from the consequences of those large things. Because no one would ever make the allegation that any one particular snowflake, for lack of a better term, would be responsible for that avalanche. But yet they're all the ones doing it. And each one could say, I'm just a snowflake. How could I have possibly caused all that damage? One second. Sorry about that. We also see this. And it's just a psychosis that is held subliminally. Because for so long, we have seen the psychological operators out there throw out this idea that, oh, the U.S. is right around the corner. Heading right for disaster. We heard this story in Venezuela about how the country was starving for 6 straight years. How long does it take an entire country to starve? It's on a much smaller scale, but we see it now, yet people still gravitate to this type of news. And the reason that I say that, no matter what, is sometimes I forget that I am privy to all of the responses to the videos that I've made on YouTube, and that most people are not. I have turned the page from this video that I did back on the 11th of July, what we have called the map. But the engagement on it has not. I am waking up every single morning to dozens and dozens and dozens of comments and engagements on this video and this one. They have, just since the 11th and 8th of July, respectively, moved into the number 1 and number 3 slots of my all-time most viewed videos. It's insane. It was something that I'm still trying to dissect, how a simple map, a picture of a map with 4 colors, blue, green, orange, and red, can set off such a visceral reaction. But the one thing, and it's a very basic, fundamental idea out there, is this thing called the normality bias. That even prior to World War II, when it started, only about 1 in 4 Jews left Germany, even after the atrocity started. Absolutely insane. You would think, wow, if they were doing this to people, they would leave. But they don't. And I don't even know that it's necessarily even the arrangement of the colors. It's something to really study, and I would encourage my students to go to this video, not because I want them to watch it, but go to the comment section, and you can see the disconnect. And here's the major disconnect. In a shit it's the fan scenario, the scenario is, of course, that the government has lost control. And the reason people want to flee out to the mountains and out to the counties is because they believe that the government won't be able to protect them. They'll have to protect themselves. They'll have to be self-sufficient. They won't have 911. They won't have all of these different benefits of having an up and running society, so to speak. That'll all be gone. That's the reason they want to live out in the middle of nowhere. Now, in this video, especially the one here at the top, I put out the scenario that what about all the prisons? What about all of the people that are going to be breaking out of prison by the tens of, if not hundreds of thousands, with no guards and no infrastructure to maintain it? The disconnect completely short circuits their logic and they don't even understand it. It's an amazing thing to see because their response to that is thus: oh, don't worry, the government will kill all of them. The same government they don't believe will be able to protect them from regular threats will have this enormous, complicated plan to exterminate 2.3 million prisoners across the country that will work flawlessly. That is the main response to that video. It is a study in normality bias, cognitive dissonance, and just about every major psychosis you can think of. The level of its success is stunning, even to me. 689,000 views in, let's see, 11 July. So what's that, 20 days plus 4? Not even 2 months. It's insane. To, in the same video, make the allegation that we're going to move out to the middle of nowhere. We're going to live out here on our own because of lack of faith in government, lack of faith in the authorities to protect you. But then when you introduce one anomaly about the prisoners, then all of a sudden faith in government is restored. Now, where I'll leave with this is the giant psyop of the mainstream media pushing that narrative. When you look at the top three, and I've brought up CNN, Fox, and MSNBC. This is CNN. This is Fox. And this is MSNBC. All of these things, all of these stories, everything about the current leader making this allegation that that Google is skewed and this issue with McCain, all of this shows that they still have the psyche of the American people in a vice grip. And there's no breaking away from it. Because I guarantee even those who would profess to not be partakers would know every detail of all of these stories. But virtually none of what's going on right now in China. Even though that's where the vast majority of the world lives, over there in Asia. In a shit hits the fan scenario, these will be the places they go to find out the real deal, the real story. And like in, for example, here, Fox believes that by talking about, number one thing, this FBI and basically corruption in government, that they're going to bring in viewers that want to see corruption in government. They want to see the exposing of corruption in government. We've seen this over and over and over again. CNN, though, has had a major sea change. They've gone off of the whole Russia narrative. But they still believe their viewers want to see something negative. All of these main sites believe that what will engage their viewers, what will bring them to the site and keep them, are these negative stories. And that's why I started here. Is this idea of negativism, this idea of pain, and just around the corner, some disaster. Makes this video right here make perfect sense. I didn't even know it when I did it, I'll be very honest. I knew it was going to tweak a little cognitive dissonance. It was meant to do that. It was meant to show how psychological manipulation can literally destroy your ability to comprehend logic. I never knew it was going to do this, though. I never realized it was going to have this level of an effect. And that it happened here. Well, it happened here first, but this second one, I did this one on the 8th of July here. This one was on the 11th, and then down here in the top 10, there's also this one on the 29th. That it was repeatable. I mean, this one isn't even a month old, 29 July, and it's already got 141,000 views. Now it hasn't taken off like this, but I mean, usually if we go to my newest viewed videos, to give you an example of what a normal video does, I dropped this one about an hour ago. And this was yesterday. 2,500, 4,000. I only have 30,000 subs, roughly 30,000, 29,000 some subs. So these are good numbers. These are okay numbers. So those giant numbers are outliers. But it's a function of psychological states that people are in right now as a result of their exposure to the mainstream media. Because they wouldn't be reacting like that in that many numbers if they weren't continually being manipulated and pushed by MSNBC, Fox, CNN, and all the other big sites. So, evidence revealed. So, we will leave it there. Top Secret Tuesday, Florida Maquis. Thank you so much for your support. I very much appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe.